guys, welcome to my frequency. I'm MichaelJeralo, and the reason I haven't been making videos, I don't know if you can hear in the background.
I don't hear anything.
But my kids are in there fighting right now. They've been fighting every day, all day, every day. That's what they do. And they're probably going to, at some point, boil over. This is going to be a longer video. SDKDMD writes, might be a good time to watch why Sick Boy was taken down off all platforms. Then watch Kujo beatdown while High Ren and Sick Boy are fresh in your mind. So I agree with that. Well, those songs are if this has to do with those, I think I should do it now. So that's what I'm going to do.
Smart.
If they boil over and come out of there fighting, then I'll just pause it. It's going to be a longer video. That why they took the video off platforms is like 35 minutes long. With me commenting, it's going to be longer. And then we're going to watch Kujo beat down at the end of that. So if you want to hang out with me, let's go.
That would be great.
Alright, let's see what Ren's talking about.
This is a video that I never, ever really wanted to have to make. But it's...
And I didn't really think Ren would have some beef with somebody, so this is going to be cool to check out this beef.
very important for me that I do. All the time, artists all over the world pour their souls into their work, and that work is tainted by money or greed. A lot of you will have been asking me the question why Sick Boy has disappeared now, as well as YouTube on streaming services.
And y'all already know how I feel about artists being poisoned by greed, what he just said. I can't do nothing but agree with that.
It's a video that was very close to me. It's a video that told my story about my health. It's a video that told the story of many other people who have been gaslit by the medical community. It's a story of greed in the music industry, ironically, funnily enough. It's also a song that I poured tens of thousands of pounds into for a music video, for promotion. It was also the leading title of the only #1 album that I've got, so I was very, very proud of it. And we'll no longer have that song, guys. And I want to go into the reasons why. Also, I do recommend sticking around to the end of this video, because I've got a very exciting announcement about all of this that relates to all of this.
So he was saying that the song relates to him being sick. You know, whenever he said "bitten by a tick boy," it didn't really click in my head. A commenter turned me on. I was like, "Hey, that's why he said tick boy. He had Lyme disease." It didn't really register when I was watching it. I didn't make a extra innings, but that's something that happened. And then he's talked about the money and the greed of the music industry. I thought he was talking about government and stuff, and maybe he was a little bit. But the second verse, that's what I think that's pertaining to right there.
Right at the end. People who have been following me for a while, they'll know the sort of person I am. They know the principles that I have, and they'll know how I treat other independent artists. So they'll know why it was so important for me to have to make this video. And I want it to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm emotionally affected by it, and that may leak in, right? But I want to share entire clips of these conversations so there can be no doubt. Also, if Kujo and his girlfriend want to share any more screenshots of either of those conversations, I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge, so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently what has happened here.
If Kujo's guilty of trying to get more money out of him and stuff like that, he ain't gonna share nothing.
Give context for all of this. Back in 2022, I buy a beat from BeatStars, right? For anyone who doesn't know, BeatStars is a platform that connects producers to artists who need beats. I do produce most of my own work, but I wanted to find some hip-hop beats for inspiration. What I would usually do is buy a beat, arrange it slightly differently, tweak it myself, add my own vocals, add my own layers and stuff like that. I find this banging beat, right, from a producer called Kujo Beats, which I buy an unlimited license for. This is all very important to keep in mind for later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all recording on platforms like YouTube, etc., right? After I do this, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here, just in case Kujo claims I never did this. I did do this. I also went the extra mile and messaged the team and said, look, we need to credit him on Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit producers. I think that I forgot to do it in the YouTube description for like the first month or two, and then I updated it, and then he was fully credited the whole time, right? That was just a lapse because there was a lot going on. I was in Canada treating and stuff. But anyway, he was credited fully, like very soon in everywhere. And as far as I was aware, registered everywhere. So I don't think anything of it, right? Also, in the BeatStars contract, it says very clearly that the person selling you the beat has to own the beat. And if there are any elements of the beat that he doesn't own, he has to let you know. This is very important to remember for what is to follow as well, right?
I see where this is going. I think I remember a comment, too, that he had some samples that he didn't own or something like that. This is funny because when I used to rap, I bought some... I don't know if it was that website, but I bought some... My buddy bought some beats off of a website where we could sell X amount of copies of the songs that we made, but we never sold them, so we just sat on them, and I just released them on YouTube for free, and they got copyrighted. I never fought it because like I told you, I don't expect to make money off of this, but I just thought that was funny. Those websites, it seems to be kind of fishy to me anyways, because I feel like if Kujo used samples and stuff, that website should have did its due diligence of making sure before accepting somebody's money, they should have did their due diligence of making sure that they were ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think there's no problems. I buy the beat. I record a song. This is before things have blown up with my music, so I'm still pretty underground artist at this point. I record the track, put it out. I even get a message from him at some point, which is also important to remember because of the hypocrisy of this whole situation. Just like, wicked, I love the track. Okay? Remember that too. Before I begin, I just want to add this. I have no problem with BeatStars. I think they're a very innovative company who actually help people make art, which I'm very, very passionate about. I think the contracts and the things you're getting into could be clearer, because we're now in a situation negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars. I would love to talk to the... If anyone from there is watching, I imagine they will be at some point, I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face-to-face. Just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and I want to understand why it escalated the way it did, because from what I've heard, he's someone who cares a lot about artists, and someone who creates a platform like that, I think must be very passionate about music. I'd love to chat to you.
Yeah, you see, he's even saying the same thing, like, you really need to have your stuff together because he bought the beat for $100, and now, I don't remember the views, but I'm sure it's got probably 4 million views on YouTube, and probably platinum, you know what I'm saying? Which, hey, if you're going to put your beats on for sale and somebody like Drake or whoever goes and buys them, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But it will get you started. Just the publicity from him making that beat. Like, I remember commenting on the song and I go, oh, I like this beat. You know what I mean? Just that alone could turn you into something else without getting everything turned bad. But if it's a sample issue, then that needs to be all worked out before the beat's even uploaded for sale, in my opinion.
If you're listening, and I'd love to figure out why this happened and how we can stop things like this happening in the future. I also think that there needs to be a bit more stringent checks on if people are selling unlicensed samples, because then things tend to get a little bit sticky like they have here. Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because I'm not interested in going to war with them, because I think that it's really cool that there's a platform like that exists for artists and producers to be connected. Just thought I'd put that out there and make that clear. Right, so I arrive home from Canada after a 1.5 year long treatment of treating brain damage and autoimmunity, which a lot of you will know if you've been following my journey.
Oh yeah, so my sister came down, and I went to go over there and introduce her to Ren. It was a no-go. She already knew who Ren was. She's already listened to Ren. Then she wanted to She wanted to subscribe to my YouTube, so she's gonna see these things. So we didn't do it, but I found out also she doesn't only. This is why she kind of knows about them already. She has lupus, but she also has autoimmune disease. So they have some stuff in common, and she already knew about them, and so I didn't waste my time recording anything. I just kind of enjoyed the holiday, and, you know, that's it. So, sorry I didn't get that video out to y'all, but I didn't want to fake it. She already knew who Ren was. She already had listened to some of his music and all that.
That's key.
I'm expecting a nice 2 weeks with my mates before I do my first ever solo show in 5 years because of my health. So I'm just like, I want a nice chill time. I want to be able to focus on rehearsing and stuff. Very early on, I wake up to a message saying, yo, your song Sick Boy has been taken down. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's been copyright striked from this guy Kujo Beats' channel. And initially I'm like, oh, this just must be some automatic fuck up. So like, I don't take it too seriously. I send him a message like, yo, there must have been a technical error or something here. No response for 2 days. So I'm like, what's going on? So I check his channel, and then I see a comment of that beat that he licensed me, and I see a comment that's like, Ren has left me no choice. I'm sorry that I had to do this. And I'm like, okay, so this was intentional. Like, what? Like, the last conversation I had with this guy was months ago with him being like, yo, big up your work, it's sick. So I'm like super confused about it. So I send him another email like, dude, what's going on? Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment in his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like, I just want to resolve this amicably. What's going on? Finally, I get a response on Instagram. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put all of these responses in their full form so that there can be no doubt as to what happened. I'm just going to read out like the key moments and explain the key moments. But if anyone's like interested in deep diving so there can be no doubt as to what's happened here, feel free to pause it. If Kujo and his girlfriend, like I said, feel like I've left anything out, they are welcome to post it. I have nothing to hide about this situation. So he responds, and he tells me that he's been talking to my lawyer for months, which I have no idea about. I've been in Canada. And he seems like quite a nice guy initially, so I'm like, okay, maybe this has all just been a misunderstanding. I remember even saying to like Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. He seems like you're alright, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his video saying that I'm lying about the situation, when I thought that we like on the same page here. So I pull him up on it, and he's like, oh no, I didn't say you were lying, when he clearly did. That should have been like the first red flag for me, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe.
And I'm going to say this, even though I don't think this is what's going on here, but sometimes beef is manufactured for sales. I don't think that's going on here, because I think around this time Ren was blowing up anyways, and he didn't need beef, but Kujo needed beef. So Kujo could be manufacturing this beef just for publicity, if you will.
Nah, you wanted money?
That's right.
Or he just wants some more money because $100 ain't, you know, a reflection of what the sales are of that music. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. I think some beef in hip hop is manufactured. This is American hip hop, of course. So,
Another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell is happening, because I'm in the dark about all of this situation. And he explains to me that I've been sold a beat with a stolen sample, with an unlicensed sample, and that the Bulgarian choir sample owners had chased him and gone, look, you've used this beat without permission, you've used this sample without permission, and so you need to give us 50% of the publishing split. And what my lawyer's done, because we were...
So that'd be like $50 for him, but Kujo don't have the rights to the publishing, correct? So he got paid $100, from what I can tell. So they give him $50.
sold a beat in good faith and it wasn't actually cleared. He's reached out to Kujo and gone, look, I think you need to absorb this for selling this in bad faith, basically. And they've gone, no, we're not going to absorb that. And then it's escalated, and they've, I think because my lawyer was being slightly slow with the responses, they also, keep in mind, I don't know any of this is happening right now. to get my attention, they issue a copyright strike on the video, which affects my YouTube channel, by the way, and the video gets taken down as a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like anyone first, if this was getting so like blown up. Like maybe the lawyers, maybe Kujo could have actually reached out to me, the artist. Nobody did. So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read another comment that Kujo's posted, calling me a coward to pay the royalties he's owed, and I'm like, what royalty? That's also, in my head, the publishers are just paying him the money, and now the situation has to change until everyone agrees on it. But I wasn't even privy to that conversation about what a fair split should be yet. So I was like, what? I don't owe you. I don't owe this guy money. Like, there's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to Kujo, which should be paid to Kujo, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which is nothing to do with me, by the way. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way. And
so he was gonna get some publishing. Okay, so I made a mistake. Apparently, one time I was doing an album with a guy in Canada, and my friend was providing the beats. And so me and the guy doing the album were going to buy the beats from my friend. And to me, that's where that transaction ended right there. We buy the beats from him. We make our songs. But my friend was fighting for also a percentage of the sales. And I said, nah, man, we're going to do... Me and him got, I wouldn't say an argument, but I backed out. I said, no, we can either buy these beats from you and then... That's that, because I was already going to get, I don't remember the percentages of the deal, but it wasn't great for me, as I remember. And so it would make, that could have been my percentages. So I backed out and said I didn't want to do it, and then the project fell apart. But it sounds like the beat maker you buy the beats and then, because my problem was, hey, you're going to get paid twice. You know what I'm saying? So why are we buying these beats if you're getting a percentage of sales? It didn't make much sense to me, but it sounds like that's the way it is. I didn't know that, to be honest with you. Not always right.
That's what negotiations are all about.
He's adamant to say, probably short of like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right? So it's a very bizarre thing to keep saying, but I try to explain that to him patiently, never really takes it in. Anyway, he calls me a coward on this comment, so I pull him up on that. This actually starts to then rub me up a little bit. So I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying like, the hell, like, cowardly? Anyway, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. Anyway, despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed, so I still take his side on it, and I go on to reassure him he'll get paid his publishing money because I want him to get paid his publishing money. Doesn't affect me in any way. So like, I was like, yeah, I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring him. It's really important to remember this, by the way, guys, because some of the lies that are posted later make me out to be really unreasonable. So I'm like, yo, if there's some simple mistake, let's split the publishing. It's cool. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. Anyway, so he comes back to me and lies more. He says it's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not. It's up to the producer. But unless there's been a conversation. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get your fair share. So actually, it's me making the concessions here because he sold a stolen sample. And I'm like, you know what? You can still have some publishing split, right? So like, I'm actually being the one that's being quite reasonable here. And he's flipped on his head like, we'll be good to you, you know, because I've done nothing wrong in this situation. Anyway, I was like, and then he says, I was under the impression you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Another lie, as you'll see soon. He and his lawyer agreed to take.
See, I feel like when the first contact was made with Kujo, and Kujo was like, sounds great. Maybe at that point, Kujo should have informed him like, hey, I did do this sample. Because Ren went at it just thinking that it was ready to go. But I would have too. You have to be informed, and if you're not informed, how can the artist clear the song or the sample if he doesn't know?
This video down as a form of leverage. It was our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Maybe message me. They're scratching their head. How can we get a response? Okay, we'll take his video down, issue a copyright strike, which also, I didn't actually violate the contract. Not intentionally. So the only possible tactic, dude, message me. Send me an email. Like, you've messaged me before to tell me that you love my work. So, like, send me an email about this. Anyway.
Right.
He says he also wants to wrap it up immediately and get the song back online. Another lie, as you will see later on, because he decides to stick to his guns and use the video as leverage. Anyway, the plot thickens. I get an email from their lawyer, and I'm not going to share it in case they start claiming I'm sharing things I'm not supposed to. But I get an email, and it says, on top of the publishing split, they want a £3,000 payment, right? They want a 15% retroactive split of the master, which has nothing to do with publishing, which means like 15% of everything the song has ever made since it came out. Retroactively, so since it's come out to this moment and then into the future, when I've paid for an unlimited sample, unlimited license beat, and with that you're talking money from record sales, you're talking money from streaming things, you're talking all of that when they haven't put any effort into promoting the song. He's made a beat and he's stolen part of the beat, and he wants 15% of everything the song has ever made for that, plus a £3,000 advance. Out of principle, I wasn't going to give him that. But because like may have been slightly open to negotiations if they hadn't used the song as leverage and actually treated me like a decent person. I hadn't put like lies about the situation, right?
And Kujo's messed up any future possibility to work with Ren in the future. And other artists will see this and be like, well, I don't want to work with that dude. It's crazy. This is a bad tactic. He's trying to get a one-time hit. Because who knew if he would have went into this in good faith and said, oh, I should have said this and that. Third, admitted to his mistakes. Hell, Ren could have worked with him again in the future. Probably never again. Definitely never again.
But out of principle, I wasn't going to agree to that. And also to clarify, when I've been in rooms with producers and we've made a song from scratch, I've done a lot of like 50-50 splits, or I've done like 25-75, or with other collaborated artists, we just agree on a split that's like 50-50, 25. So, like 15% isn't outrageous, right? What's outrageous is that they already sold it with an unlimited license right from the get-go. So you go into BeatStars thinking, I'm buying an unlimited license for this much money, right? And I was broke at the time when I bought that beat. So it's like you go into the situation buying something, and then later on down the line, it can come back and
17 and a half short minutes later.
Sting you if they go, oh, this slight thing, well, we found a loophole here, which means that now you owe us all this money, right? So it's like, it was kind of unfair because say you buy a painting off somebody for £10, and then the price of it rises exponentially because maybe the painter dies or something, or he becomes really popular. You don't then just go back to the person you sold it to and go, oh, that painting's worth like 20 times more now, give me a bit more money for it, because the transaction's been done. And that's kind of how I felt about the BeatStars thing. It wasn't about me losing money, it was about the principle of like, we've stepped into this agreement, and I was in full faith thinking I was buying an unlimited sample, but that's unlimited license, sorry, but that's not actually what's happened, is it? Right?
Yeah, and
Night on Easter last night.
Oh yeah?
Dad, I need Easter, yeah.
Easter's a while away. Yeah, I would have took the song down too, and I would just be like, alright, well, we'll redo this song later in life with a different beat. What are you doing? I told you need your headphones if you're coming in here, which you do not have. Michaela, you're gonna have to go somewhere, baby. I know you don't. They're broken apparently. You like to throw stuff when you get mad. I'm recording, baby.
No, Dino.
Okay, shut that door for me.
My toys.
Don't come.
What?
Okay, so we're gonna have to take a break, guys.
And it says that if I don't agree to this, they're within their right to claim 100% of the song because I have breached something in the contract, right? Now, this is what I breached. Apparently, Content ID was turned on the track, okay, on YouTube. As you'll see from my earlier on in this video, I actually specifically requested Content ID was turned off, and my YouTube guide did turn it off. There has been something to do with the distribution where somewhere along the line, even after I specifically requested this, it may have gotten turned on at some point, right? Where this doesn't actually make any money, which we've got proof of, because I actually let reactors, I let content creators monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby. So
that's right. And the thing about that is usually whenever my stuff is copyrighted, once I explain to the company, which they should know this already, that they're getting free advertisement, free promotion, they usually uncopyright me, or at least unblock the video. They might keep the copyright on there. If you ever go back and look at my Jean Grey video I did, that company would not let me put a song on there. It got 7 views. Or 8 views maybe. They would not let it go. And then after listening to him, I was right, man, about my negotiations with my beat guy. I was absolutely right. Basically, I was going through the same thing Ren was going through. He wanted more, and out of principle, I wasn't going to let that dude get paid twice. I mean, come on.
Like, I'm like, they're using this as leverage, but legally, but thus is the world. They actually had something to lean on with that. So they were like, look, if you don't agree to these terms, 15% retroactive master split, this share on publishing, and a £3,000 advance against the master, we're going to take 100% of what you own. At this point, I'm obviously pretty annoyed, which is pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point, they've got my attention, so there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boy as leverage, right? So I give them a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair warning, which is also important to remember, because later on he plays the victim, saying that I've put a post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it. I never once encouraged them to bully him. I just needed to explain why my video was down, because this was proper stressing me out. And
I know some of the renegades, like, I'm happy to say about 250 of my subscribers are renegades, and they're very, very nice people, compassionate people. I could see a small percentage of them attacking Kujo, but most of them probably wouldn't even involve themselves, to be honest with you.
That's so sweet.
I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about the whole situation. The time comes around, I put the post out, and I'm always still thinking for like a positive solution here. So I have like a brainwave of like, oh, I've got a brilliant solution, right? So I approach him and I'm like, dude, look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of principle, I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea, because a lot of my fan base are like now giving him, because I put the public post out, a lot of my fan base is giving him grief, and I'm like, you know what, I want this guy's life to get ruined because of this, like, despite how frustrated it's made me. I don't want this guy to get ruined. I don't want him to get abused about it. I just wanted to get the song back. That was the thing. So like, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, look, I thought of a thing, because I am a man of principle. I didn't want to bend to threats and stuff about the song being claimed 100%. So I'm like, I've got a much better idea. Let's make a song. We'll split it 50-50 down the middle. Master, publishing, everything. A song from scratch. Then if we do that way, it'll be like a fuck you to the industry. Yeah, you and me on a track. You'll make way more money this way because it's 50-50. You'll also get my fan base on your side. It's going to be a great thing, because I'm always like, I want to look forward. I don't want to look backwards. I don't want to look at all these things that happened in the past. I'm like, this is actually going to make him even more. And he rejected it. He turned it down, which I still think to this day is a bit of a silly move given what happened and what happened next. But it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really should have taken that. I'm sure you are watching it. You really should have taken that deal.
Dude, I would have did that in a heartbeat, bro. I've been like, you know what, dude? And because I would have did this all differently, but I would have happily collaborated with Ren on a song 50-50. Because, for one thing, I don't know this Kujo dude, but like I'm just going to use me as an example. All the views would be because of Ren, and I would just be basically on his coattails. And, you know, that right there, it would get me out there a little bit, you know?
It was brilliant. Not only would it set you up with way more money, which is obviously what you most care about in this situation, but it also got loads of my fans on your side, which would also set you up for all things that you release independently as well, and you'd have come out of this looking good. Shame, I offered you that olive branch. I offered quite a few olive branches on numerous occasions, which you weren't interested in. Then
Ren, if you ever want to put me on a track, bro, I'm down. If you see this.
My people will be getting in touch with you very soon.
So that there's a post on Instagram saying that I've stolen samples from people, which is bizarre because I never have. So I send him a message being like, he said that a British artist has got in touch with him and been like, Ren steal samples, which is obviously complete made up bullshit, right? So I messaged him about that. I'm like, what samples have I stolen? The Vera Hall one that I just put out, totally cleared. We cleared that with publishing company because I actually don't like steal my samples. And then any covers that I've done,
if you steal a sample, you pay the consequences by being sued or go through something like this. So that's nonsensical right there. I mean, obviously he doesn't, otherwise he'd be going through this kind of stuff, and this obviously bothers him. Come on.
They're just on YouTube. You're allowed to do that because there's a cover license on YouTube. So like, what are you talking about? To which he then just like ignores it, takes the post down, and then like and then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and Kujo, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to Kujo face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other. But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional. And I was like, hold on a second, I wasn't the person who took this public, first of all. Like, taking the video down is an aggressive move. And also, I didn't take it public, first of all. Kujo was commenting countless things on his YouTube before I even made the comment, calling me a liar, a coward, a numb. So like, to say that I took this public, nah, I just responded to what happened and then explained to my fans why the song was down. Those posts are still up for everyone to see. All the posts on his comments are still there for everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and then everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funniest thing about that call is Kujo was on it. He did not say a single word. Even when I like addressed him with questions, his lawyer would interject and go, I can answer that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to talk to the person who's like, you know, like an adult. I want to talk to this person. And then my lawyer there's even a moment where my lawyer's like, look, I want to address this question to Kujo. Do you actually feel like this situation is fair? He says nothing, and the lawyer interjects again. So for that whole call, which, you know, took about half an hour, 40 minutes, he didn't say a single word. And I thought that was disrespectful, given the circumstances. He later claimed that it was because he doesn't legally know enough and it should be between the lawyers. But no, man, like, regardless of your legal knowledge, we can still have a conversation like adults. Like, I'm not here to try and like intimidate or anything like that. I want to talk to you like a grown-up, brother.
His lawyer probably told him going in, I'll do all the talking, and then he probably just stuck with that. I'm not defending it. Ren's absolutely right. Lawyers probably shouldn't even have been involved in this. He gave him the olive branch he was talking about. Was damn, what a deal that dude turned down. That he don't know a whole lot about anything.
Burn!
And that didn't happen. I wasn't afforded that luxury. I was talking a fair bit on that call about how I felt about the situation and what I felt was right. And I also said on that call that I didn't think that a retroactive split was right, because of all the reasons I've mentioned. But it is what it is, man. And then we came off the call and I felt pretty let down by it, to be honest. This is where the plot gets even more ridiculous, and I'm sorry this is a long video, guys, but this is mad, and this is emotionally exhausting, this bit. So I read a bunch of comments on Instagram from this person talking about the contract, saying things that aren't actually in the contract. I'm like, who the is this? So I message him and be like, yo, by the way, you're misinformed. The contract actually doesn't state that it's on me to clear the samples. Then I click on the profile, I realise that it's Kujo's girlfriend, so I immediately unsend all those messages. Because to be honest, look, he was getting grief from my fans, and I think to myself, you know what? He needs someone supporting him, even though that he's been an arsehole. I don't want to like start messaging his girlfriend and shit, whatever. I'll leave her out of this. But she sees that I've unsent the messages, and she instigates the conversation, says, have you done an oopsie? We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. It actually ends up being, it seems to me, like it's like semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other. Like you can pause this and read this if you want. It's like basically the long and short of it is like she feels like Kujo's been misrepresented and feels like it's a lot of the industry's fault, my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what Kujo feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which, even though it's a little bit out of pocket, you know me, I laugh about it. The thing that rubs me up about things like that is, if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. If that had been the other way around, they would have been like, later on they would have been like, ran such a violent person or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics by simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying, you know, like, imagine what would have happened if he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not
It's funny that he's got mental health issues and he's going into this with a clearer mind than people that, I mean, I don't claim to know their medical history, but, you know, I've been threatened by women like that before. It's silly.
Considering what it does to my mental health, when you take down a song that means that much to me, a song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video, but I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So, like, if they say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that, I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So, like, we seem to make some middle ground. She's even talking to me about, like, her ADHD and knows that I've got ADHD and, like, you know, maybe we've just got... So I'm like, you know what? She seems pretty level-headed, right? So, like, cool. You know what? Maybe these guys are... It's just a big misunderstanding and we can figure a way to amicably sort this out. And I say to her, look, yeah, I'm happy to split the publishing, but I don't really want to split the master out of principle because I bought this, right? You know, but... Then at this point I start being like, you know what, maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff just to get this out of the way, even though I don't believe I should because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample. I'm like, if this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future master. I even say that in the email thread to the lawyers and stuff, right? So I'm conceding a little bit here because I just want this situation done with. We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning I wake up to posts from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract, and then I see a comment on Anthony Ray's video where he's talking about the situation from her, saying this is what the contract says, and she made up she wrote a whole passage that wasn't even in our contract. It was completely made up. So after her being super nice to me behind the scenes in this conversation and feeling like I wake up to read this and I'm like, I start losing my mind because I'm like, these guys, they're like, they pretend they're on my side and then it's just like they publicly post all this stuff. So I'm like,
yeah, he don't need to work with them at all as far as stick by your principles. Do not, don't give him no I hope he doesn't give them any masterings by the end of this. Because I've dealt with people like that say certain things and then lie or it's...
Get what you fucking deserve!
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Even the beat was stolen in the beginning. I mean, he didn't do business right from the get-go. He put it on that website knowing he had to have known he took that sample, and you have to know that you have to get clearance on a sample. I know these things, so why wouldn't Kujo Beats? You know, that just pissed me off a little bit. He's being so nice. He's offering to do a song and basically catapult this dude into fame, and this is the thanks he gets. Come on.
First of all, this is defamation. You can't be out here like making up stuff that's not even in the contract, yo. So she's like, yeah, it's ridiculous, right? So next, I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from Kujo's girlfriend lying about the contract, which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very illegal, by the way. No, I won't be pressing charges over it. I just want to get this situation out of the way, but
do not fold.
So I'm just going to put all these up for you to pause and read if you want to. It's ridiculous, basically. She also says that I was obviously upset, so I wasn't the most cooperative. As you guys, if you skip back in this video, you'll see I was extremely cooperative when I found out what was going on. I was being very amicable when I was trying to offer Kujo solutions and being amazingly supportive and sympathetic. I refused to fully acknowledge that a mistake on my end causing Kujo not to get paid was at the heart of all of this. It wasn't. A stolen sample was at the heart of all of this. Yes, the publishers, right, failed to correctly register Kujo, which wasn't anything to do with me. They've now remedied that, and there'll be a back payment for whatever percentage we end up on. No money's been lost here, right? That is something that was the publisher's fault, which I was very annoyed about, which I actually sent a message to the publishers about, explaining how annoyed I was about that situation, fighting for Kujo in that, when I didn't have to fight for Kujo because he was being a prick, right? So I sent that message to them anyway, fighting on Kujo's side, because despite all of this, I am a man of principles still, right? I kept threatening to sue and go public. No, I didn't. I wasn't threatening to sue. I did say I would go public if my song carried on being used as leverage. I gave them a very fair warning because they didn't need to use the video as leverage, and they kept on doing that. That was because I kept getting hundreds of messages a day from my fans being like, where's the video, and I wanted to address it all at once, and I also felt like I was being treated extremely unfairly, right? I had to accept by giving up all my shares of the song in exchange for a fixed fee. Yeah, that was something between my lawyers. Ren took in public the next morning. Yes, I did. Right, let's take this home now. At this point, I've just lost all amicability, right? I'm pissed off. I messaged Kujo's girlfriend and him saying, it's the first time I've threatened to sue, but I'm like, if I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public image. Like, I pride myself on the fairness that I show.
I don't think anybody's believing these two jokers anyways.
Can you introduce me as Joker?
Because, I mean, the Renegades are very in touch with Ren and who he is, and they really want to introduce me. That's why I'm watching this. They want me to get really in touch with him, and I have over a few songs that I've done, and you know, the 1 million subscriber video, and now this. I understand myself that Ren isn't a liar, and he takes things serious and a man of principle, as he says. So your image could not be tarnished by these lies, is what I'm getting at.
Everyone that I work with, right, and my principles, and I'm also very against greed, and I stand against it militantly, which a lot of you will know from my work and how I treat people that I work with, right? So them spreading this stuff that I'm trying to be greedy here massively hurts my public image. So I was like, if you guys lie anymore about this, yeah, I'm going to do something about it, basically. And then I'm talking to Kujo, and things get more heated. We get another email from their lawyer saying, you know, like, if you won't agree to our terms, we will take 100% of the song. That's where we stand on it. That is final. If you do not agree to this retroactive master split, we're taking everything. So I messaged back. I'm going to show you that email. I messaged back, essentially summarizing this email. I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained what it means to me. I explained to both of them what it means to me. So I'm like, I'm taking it down myself. I don't want to let them win over this. I've been in situations in the music industry before where I had to concede because I was broke, and I just had to let a powerful, greedy person win over me, you know, like. And I know this is not the same situation. It's not like Kujo is like like this in this huge position of power here, but how they've dealt with this whole situation was ridiculous. So I was like, rather than like bend to this leverage and just out of principle, I'm just going to take the song off.
Yeah.
And it's ironic, man, because the song is about greed, you know, and it hurts me a lot that it's down now. It proper hurts me, man. I can't stress that enough because of what the song was and what the song meant to me, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I sent these emails. I also sent a mass email out to everybody, the publisher, Kujo, the lawyers involved, just saying how disappointed I am across the board, even from people on my side. I was just disappointed at how this whole situation been dealt with, because ultimately at the core of this situation, the only person getting proper hurt financially from this is me, right? Because of my hard work that I've done to promote this music, because of my story and how that's been exploited. I'm the person who will suffer future losses for the earnings, and that regardless of earnings, fuck earnings for a second, that song I was proud of. What it meant to people, I was proud of. The messages that I get from people every day, telling me like how much they relate to the song, how much it helps them through difficult times, you know, like that's gone now, that's taken away from people. So yeah, I'm pissed off. Anyway,
my favorite artist, well, one of my favorite artists, Busy Bum, he released an album called Evolution of Elevation, and I don't know what happened with it, but he couldn't release it. He actually redid the whole thing and called it Trials and Tribulations. Same lyrics and everything, but just all the beats were different. So I'm guessing it was an issue with the beats. But that's what I was thinking with this. Like, I take it down, take it back to the studio, get a new beat. Even though it does sound tight the way it is, but that is an obvious answer for this.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
so I sent that email out. Me and Kujo share some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this. It's ridiculous. One of the things that took the piss the most that he said when I just lost my cool at this point. I lost all patience. One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So he was turning it around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not paying him money that I didn't think he deserved for selling a stolen beat, right? He's saying that that's my ego. It's my ego's fault. And then he's just saying, he kept saying, just pay me, let me get my bag, I want the money, just give me my money. I explained to him again, like, dude, I'm not the person that pays you the money. I've explained this to you so many times. It's the publisher. And he's like, all right, cool. It finally seems to sink in that, like, I haven't stolen this man's money. I haven't taken a penny of this man's money. The publisher was at fault for not registering it properly, and they're resolving that, and then he'll get his money from the publishing. I don't want a penny of that. I don't care about that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. He deserves a bit of money for making that part of the beat. Sure. He shouldn't have stolen a sample and sold it to me. Theoretically, he could have all of his publishing taken away, but even after all of this, I still agreed to give him a bit of a publishing split, just to shut him up, man. So it's like, I could have been even more petty and dug my feet in there, but I just want this situation over with. So the song's down.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
The funniest comment that I'm going to end this on, because this is going to be some album artwork, by the way. Single artwork, sorry. This is the next announcement. He goes, alright, peace. Your music sucks, by the way.
LOL.
Which is really funny, considering, the message earlier where he told me that it was an honour, or it was like, it was really good to work with me, Funny. It's funny, hypocritical. Funny. But yeah, sure, mommy.
I saw in one of the messages, I never lied. He's constantly lying, it seems like.
Music sucks, brother. Cool. That's going to be the single artwork. Which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm releasing a song about this whole situation, and it's dedicated to Kujo. And it's coming out next week. It's coming out a week today. It's called Kujo Beatdown. And I love it. We made an amazing video for it. I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself, all the beats are mine. And that'll be going up
I'm excited to see this, hear this beat, by the way.
on YouTube.
I was excited already to hear the song, but knowing that he did the beat and now knowing the background more in depth, I'm real excited.
And Spotify next week. I'll also be recreating Sick Boy because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine.
Yeah.
So for the anniversary of Sick Boy, the album, you will be getting Sick Boy, the beat, remade, bigger and better than ever, without Kujo's input on it.
And boom, there it is.
So look forward to that as well. And then there's also a third song dropping. There's a little bit more positive. Next week's song is angry, alright? I'm just going to warn you there. And before Kujo and his, like, before they start complaining about blah, 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 artistic license here, you know what? I've said my piece. I'm not interested in ruining your life, bro, but I felt like I needed to get it out somehow.
So is the version of Sick Boy I listened to, is that the redid beat or is that the original Kujo beat? I do not know. Somebody let me know that in the comments if you don't mind.
So I got it out somehow. And I hope you're watching this, man. And I hope you enjoy the song, because it's dedicated to you, baby. Anyway, guys, I know that this was a long video, but I wanted there to be no doubt as to where everything stood in this situation and why you don't have a song that means so much to so many people and means so much to me. But there will be a revamped version of that song coming very soon, guys. And if you've made it this far, thank you. Sincerely. And I hope there can be no doubt as to this situation. Thank you.
Alright, let's check it out.
Person who is rightly doing right, who is right there on the righteous path, no wrong in words I write. But the forces out there test me right, I'm trying to find the path and forgive all those who test my will. There's trouble in my heart. What the fuck, you little pussy? This ain't highway number 2. This ain't pendulums or songs of hope the cunt took from you. And the last time we did this, the hope did prevail. Now the hope is the road that will choke a bitch pale. No, just wait a sec, cause there's nothing to be gained when you sever the neck. I know that art is a part of your heart, so you're upset, but this hate breeds hate. Please wait, geez, when I'm getting pretty sick of the sick boy, trying to be the it boy, trying to be the I'm so morally equipped boy. Face it, you're mad as fuck, Ren. Now let me cut this worm with my razor blade pen.
Hey. Alright, so the beat is sick. I like that.
No pun intended.
Kind of reminds me of like a horror movie a little bit. Maybe something you might hear in the background, you know, of a horror movie. I like that. It seems like he's pissed off and he's talking to Kujo, so he's playing a part of Kujo as well.
He's talking to himself, sir.
This is dope. And I never thought I'd hear him say pussy or any of this shit, but cool, man.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Yeah. That's probably how he felt the whole time going through this ordeal.
Hi Kujo, please don't try to struggle, hear me out, see I'm on your side really. Well, I was, till I found you could get a little greedy. Push your luck a little far. There's a moral, little Jimmy, of the cookie and the jar. See the needy and the greedy, they're just trying to fill a hole. So they take and then they take and still they're empty in their soul. They feel so hard done by, poor little you. Wanna take from me big, then I'll take from you too. Shut up, slut, you said enough. I thought you said you like like it rough. Thought you said she liked it rough, but you're a bitch, man, what the fuck? I'm confused by this dynamic. Like it's Bonnie and it's Clyde, but the killing you're committing is career suicide. Whoa, guys, you probably think that this is extreme, I won't lie. Maybe just a little bit mean, you know, I feel a little bad about it, really. Nah, I'm only messing, lad, I love to spank the greedy. Feel me? I hope you wake up sweating from your nightmares, see me. I'm the sick boy that you enslave, free me. When you fuck with my work, you might...
The pig face is back, showing his disgust with, so he had it on the doctors. So there's a disgust with the gaslighting of the medical industry. Probably represents the same thing here, if I'm not mistaken. Hey guys, it's me, Future Mike. I also noticed that he mentioned Jenny in the editing process. So I thought I'd throw that out there. And I think the girl playing Kujo's girlfriend is the doctor from Sick Boy, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and look and make sure, but I just thought I'd throw that in here. It's funny that he brought both of them in. This is dope.
As well bleed me. I put my whole soul into my words legally. Now a little thief want beef, want steal from me. That's how little thief lose teeth, you meal to me. I'm the subject matter, you are part of the scenery. This is how the sick boy work, you feeling me? Cunt, I'm sick with the pen. I went easy on the daughter, he's a friend, it's Zen. But if I ever hear your mouth speak the name of Ren out in public, then it's public, you don't want that again. And no warning for your bitch, if a girlfriend too. Mrs. Nice behind the scenes, poor Kujo, boo-hoo. If I ever read another fucking comment from you, then this is only part one, it's even worse than part two.
Huh. He also mentions taking it easy on the doctor from Sick Boy.
What? What's it doing?
Yeah, I picked that up too. Pretty cool, man. The views expressed in this video are for creative purposes. Any issues I have will be dealt with on a personal basis. I do not condone abuse or bullying. Just creativity, you know? Haha, that was dope. Those are the most violent lyrics I've heard from him. And for good reason. I mean, somebody's trying to push you around. Now I know, or I think, that the beat that I heard was not the original Kujo beat. Unless somehow it got fixed. But I don't think, if he did that video about it being taken off platforms and then a week later released this, I don't think that was enough time. And then when Kujo saw this, he was like, not going to let up. He wasn't going to let up anyways. He wanted to get a free payday. It looked like to me. So, yeah, I don't think that beat that I heard was the original beat. But y'all let me know. This was great. Sorry that it took me so long to get to this. With the holidays and with the kids being home, you saw... She came in here, I edited that first half of the video, and she just said in here, like, she couldn't go in her room and play her game. She had to come over here and play her game. She broke her headphones. You know, I made her a bowl of cereal, got her out of here. Love my kids, man, love them. This was dope. This video's probably gotten very long by now. I don't even know. It's probably going to be like an hour long. So I'm going to get off of here and edit it. Feel free to drop comments of something you think I missed or anything like that. I think I have a pretty good understanding. And this is one of the best beefs I've seen with an artist. I'm not too big of a beef guy, but you know,
beef? Hell yeah.
This was dope. I like his I hate that he had to go through it, but I like how he handled it. He handled it like a man, and he did his response artistically, which is, hey, that's the way you do things. That's the way I did things. Whenever I had little beefs. What was funny about my beefs is they were all within my group, which is silly as hell. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment, or don't. I really don't care. I'll see y'all next time.